Paintball nerd.
Today's guest on Paintball Nerd started playing paintball in 1997. In 2005, he became the general manager for Miami Rage. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Art Mendoza.
What's up, buddy?
Art?
How's everything, man? Good. Everything's great. Great to meet you finally. And I've been watching your show for a while. I actually asked to be on, because
Well, happy to have you.
I like your content, and it's cool. And I always watch, and all the old school guys that I always looked up to, bringing out all their cool stuff. And it's real. It's an honor. Thank you.
Well, I've been absolutely my pleasure, Art, and I've been a fan of Miami Rage. I love the culture. And I'd love to hear from you a little bit about the story of how you got involved in Miami Rage.
Okay, so I started playing paintball like you said in the intro, like 97, but that was more just like how everybody that starts playing paintball, it's the go buy your spider, go with your friends to the woods, play one time, and that was it. Yeah. Then I got back into it heavy, I would say maybe 2003, with a friend of mine, Jason Ostro, who played for R&T All-Stars with Damian Ryan and Towley when they did real well. Yeah. We went to a field here in Miami called Rough and Tough, which was Rage's home field, R&T's home field, and also Maurice Gibbs from the Royal Rat Rangers from the Bee Gees. I don't know if you remember Maurice Gibbs.
The Commanders. Soul, yes, indeed.
Yeah. The Commanders Cup at MPPL was named after him. It was his home field and Peter Bofield, one of the founders of Rage and the Florida Terminators. It was his field, and I just went over there and I met Black Jerry, and we just fell in love. Me and Jason just fell in love, and we just kept on. And I was real good friends with Chino and Adrian. Adrian is everybody knows who Chino is. Adrian was the captain of Rage. He was the youngest of the not original, but of the old school 97 to 2001 Rage guys. Yeah. And the rest of the Rage guys were pretty like getting old, and like what I'm gonna say now is actually kind of bad, to be honest with you, but like I feel like those guys like I see the big picture. Like paintball's not everybody, like when kids get into paintball, they think, oh, I'm gonna play professional paintball, but it's not a job. So like Rage always has the bad rap, but like the Rage guys actually saw the writing on the wall and went and did their real lives, So I had to Chino was debating whether just to not have a team anymore, and Adrian was in the same boat. And I had just met Kenny Clamper and Travis Day and Marky Ireland and Ziggy Moonbeam. And I was like, hey, guys, I have these guys in Orlando that are trying out for Miami Effect. They're on Miami Effect, but I don't know if they like it too much. I think we can bring them. Over. This is the Smart Parts Miami Effect, not the La Soya Miami Effect.
So this is a little bit after, right?
Yeah, this is after, it was when Smart Parts took over the name Miami Effect. So it was Miami Effect. They had Miami Effect and Philly Americans. Yeah. When La Soya played, it was the Drax's team or whatever, and so we grabbed those guys, and then we had two young kids that had Rage had just picked up, Oreguada and Frankie Garcia, and then Adrian and Chino. So we had a roster of 8 players, and we went from there, and we got JT came and took care of us. Angel, Owen, and Bart and Jed, they helped us out. And it was just from there we went and we started practicing, and we realized that, hey, we got a team here, and then we started doing what we did.
Whatever happened to Kenny and Travis? Like those guys were inseparable, and I think Rage was the last team they played for, right?
Yeah. So Kenny and Travis. So the last Rage officially ended when the NPPL was going through its stuff, and then it transitioned into the U. I don't even remember the name. The UP. I don't know what it was called. Well, pretty much, I think if I remember correctly, the last meeting I had as being the owner and GM of Rage, one of the owners and the GM, I think people don't realize how much Bart's put into the sport from Impact, but he pretty much, I think, if I remember correctly, helped save the league. This isn't the NXL. This was the NPPL, and it transitioned to USPL. We played, I think, one event there, and then we just stopped playing. And Kenny moved to Colorado. I'm pretty sure he does insurance. And Travis, really? he's a diehard dirt biker though. In the mountains, he's got
no kidding.
Yeah. He's got I think a Honda. Yeah, I'm on one of those 250 dirt bikes, and that's his hobby now. So it's work and dirt bike. Travis, I haven't talked to Travis in maybe 2 years. Travis is an enigma. I'll just leave it at that. People
Always
don't
has
realize.
been.
Yeah, he was. When we did real well, that was probably one of the top five players in the NPPL, I would say, and it's amazing
Yeah.
because he just doesn't look like he even knows how to play paintball, and it just what he does on the field was amazing. And then
Dude, I
Marky,
love Travis.
yeah, he was
Loved
he
him.
was he was awesome. And then Marky, he was always the quote unquote delinquent, with his gold teeth, and we would eat him up. But it was awesome having him because he actually respected us, and he Marky was a kid when he joined Rage, and he left the man, and everybody, people. Marky had his gold teeth, like I said, and he was a little bit of a little thug. But Marky's had the same job since he was on Rage. He's like a big time at some vitamin company. He's been there for 20 something years, and he's
No
pretty
kidding.
young. So Marky actually did it right, and then we picked up like maybe I don't remember if it was at the end of the season we picked up all those guys, but or the beginning of next season we picked up, probably one of the best players in paintball, Jason Edwards. We
Baller.
picked him. Yeah, we picked him up, and I mean, if any of you kids want to see an unbelievable match, go to YouTube and type in Naughty Dogs versus Rage Boston and PPL, and you'll see Fat Kid win the best out of three. The third game, best out of three. We had won one. Naughty Dogs had won one, and we were down maybe two bodies, and Jason got in the snake and killed the whole team to win the
Well, I
championship.
got. I'll put a link to it. I'll put a link to it in
Yeah,
the
it's it's
description.
it's an amazing video. If any of you kids want to just see somebody just assassinate a whole team, watch that.
I think I remember Marky the most. I didn't know him personally, but I remember like skinny kid with like the grill, always wore chains, right? Like look
Yeah.
kind of thuggish. I don't know if he was thuggish because again I
No,
didn't know
he
him.
he he wasn't thug. He wasn't thuggish at all. He would just he was a little. So Rage for the most part until that time was Cuban Americans.
Yeah.
So he would just a little Orlando cracker, as we would call him, and he came over, and coming to Rage, it's kind of like a little bit shell shocked because we have that rep of being this and that, which we're not. Chino's probably the nicest guy in paintball. On the field, I can understand where it comes from, but Marky just fit in right away with his little attitude, and then he realized that attitude wasn't going to fly with us, and he became a great dude, and it's probably between Marky, Kenny, and Travis, of those guys that came onto the team late, he's the one that I still keep in touch with the most. I talk to him probably once
Does
a
he play
month.
at all?
Yeah, he's playing for Damage now.
Oh, I didn't even know that, man. Does he still
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
gold teeth?
No, he doesn't have the gold teeth. He's been playing for Damage, I think, since the beginning of last year.
Okay,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so obviously I didn't recognize him.
Yeah. No, he's a different man. He's married. He's got I think two kids, maybe three, but I'm for sure two.
Right on.
So yeah.
So, Art, what's a memory that really stands out for you with Miami Rage?
I mean, there's so many, but just I mean, the thing that I loved is just the traveling and playing paintball and like meeting, like I met some of my JC Whittington's one of my best friends, I would say, and I
Mm,
met him through paintball, and I got into paintball real late in life. Before paintball, a lot of my friends played in the NFL, so I would just go in NFL games for 10 years, just traveling, going to NFL games, and in the off season traveling with all my friends. As a matter of fact, I had one of our NFL guys sponsor Rage D2 when Division Two was it was pretty competitive in NPPL. Like I think maybe Aftermath was in it, maybe Dynasty Entourage, a bunch of the younger guys that are now all pros.
yep.
And that team actually got three first places and two, a second and a third. We dominated. We won the
Nice.
series. Yeah, and it was fully funded by a friend of mine that was the third pick in the draft in 2000. And
Are
I
you allowed
brought
to
him.
say his name?
Yeah, Gerard Warren. He's not a big name. He played 13 years in the NFL. He played on the team that for the Patriots that went undefeated and lost in the Super Bowl. He was drafted by the Browns
Mm,
with the third pick in 2001, I believe. And so yeah, like just meeting guys like JC, meeting and then all the World Cups were always great. Like because like I said, Angel would kind of at the beginning they would I would say throw these guys on us that we didn't know, and again we're a bunch of Cubans and we don't like it. We don't mix well with other people sometimes. But they gave us Marcus, Max, Lundquist, and JC Whittington, And we're like, what is going on here in one big house? But it ended up being awesome. And we had those guys came and played with us, I think, for 3 World Cups in a row. And we played pro X ball there. And like, it was just awesome. I mean, I wish we would have taken it more seriously because like I remember like whenever we would have San Diego events, we would be coming back from Tijuana in the morning and we'd see Dynasty
Oh
lacing
boy.
in their gear going out to the field.
Yeah.
And so, that's one thing I would say. Our talent was unmatched, honestly, because we never put any time into paintball. And that season that we did real well, we had a first place and 2 other podiums. And I mean, we really
And no
practiced.
practice.
Maybe we practiced once before an event. We practiced damage and a team called Jersey Authority. I don't know if you remember Jersey Authority. They had
Vaguely.
it was MPPL. I know you did the NXL. They had it was owned by a guy named Ron Butler. I think he passed away. He was a great guy, and it had Alex Lundquist and the Blonsky brothers. I don't know if you remember the Blonsky brothers.
Sure do. Yep.
Yeah, they had those guys. They were a real good team. So they would fly down, and we would practice against Damage and them. And I mean, we would practice maybe once a month. And then, but it all changed when we won that event and we did real well that year. I mean, thank God Chuck Hench became the head of JT, and JT got bought out by K2 because all those sponsorship deals from that year funded Rage for the next 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like back in 7-man, you could do that. Like you could have a group of talented guys, not practice. You didn't really need to have like conditioning, right? Like you do today. In X-ball, you need to have condition.
That was Rage. That right, what you just said right there was Rage. That year that we did well, we maybe practiced once before an event, and some of our guys wouldn't even play until that practice, and it was which is a horrible thing to say because I could only imagine how well we would have done if we would have put time in like Dynasty, like excessive, like these other teams were doing.
Sure.
But we never did, and I mean, in all honesty, I'm glad these kids did it because that's not real world, and paintball, unfortunately, paintball's not the end to anything. I hate to say it, and I don't want any of these young kids that are thinking that, just, hey, kids, get a job because there's no money in professional paintball, period. I mean,
well, unless you're the top 5 players.
Exactly. But even then, even if you're the top 5 players, it's like, what do you do when you're 35 or 38? You already gave away, like, Marky has a career. Like even if Marky was one of the top 5 players and he didn't do his career, okay, he makes a bunch of money for 4 or 5 years, and then what? I have a bunch of friends that played in the NFL. The average lifespan in the NFL is 2 years, a little bit more than 2 years. You don't even become a vested vet with a pension until your 4th game of your 4th year. And I have more than 30 friends of mine that are broke, that all made way more money than these pro paintball players did for longer periods of time. So it's like. So you got to respect the guys that have been in the game as long as they have and have been able to maintain, a steady job and playing paintball. And obviously, like teams like Dynasty that just have the marketing and all that down pat. Those guys, Alex, Ryan, Eric, Crandall, those guys knows what they're doing, but they're more running a business than playing paintball. But just being a professional paintball player, like I don't want to break the spirit of any of the young kids, but like have fun with it, but don't give up any of your professional dreams to go think you're going to become a pro paintball player and make $1 million because it doesn't exist.
Well, not $1 million, but it depends on what you think is sustainable in life, But
I mean,
to run to take care of your family, if you have kids and a wife and you got a mortgage, is being a professional paintball player is going to be tough unless you have other skill sets.
Exactly.
And I've gone back and forth in life between 2 things: paintball and real estate. And there's a reason for that. And it's exactly what you're talking about, Art, is because paintball doesn't always pay the bills,
Yeah, but also real estate is a perfect job to go along with paintball. And if you could find that mesh and that perfect mix, like Chino and Adrian are firefighters. That's the other perfect job to go along with paintball. You're one day on, 2 days off. You get your Kelly day, which you can take off, have somebody fill in. So you could technically have a week off every month. And real estate the same. You're on your own time. You get one or 2 good listings a month, or even if you're doing big sales, you get 3 or 4 good listings a year and you're set. But you gotta be able to find that like perfect mixture. And if you don't do that, like I've seen it. I've seen a lot of kids put all these time into paintball, and now they're 30, 33 years old, and like you gave up 10 years of your life, and you could have had, like, Marky's a perfect example. Marky didn't graduate college. Marky had the same job he was since he was 18. He never let paintball get in the way of that job. He's 20 years into that job. He's probably making great money. He's got a killer 401k, killer stock options with the company, and he's set for life. And because
Yeah.
he did it the way he needed to do it. You don't
It's
put all
important.
your eggs. Yeah.
But
Definitely.
just, for all the kids listening, if you want to be the next Ryan Greenspan and you want to do paintball full time and do clinics, you can do that. We're not saying that you
Oh
can't.
no,
You know,
100%. But if you got to put all the time into it and don't think anything's coming, like Marcelo, I'm pretty friendly with Marcelo. That guy's these kids probably think that guy traveling all the time doing clinics, and it's a full time job. He's making
absolutely.
yeah, it's a full time job. So that's I misspoke. So Marcelo's got a full time job. That's not being he's not. I'm talking about like the paintball, just going to tournaments and playing, getting paid for that. Marcelo's got a full time
Sure.
job.
Yeah.
He's going to clinics every weekend. He was down here in Miami. Him and Ryan at a clinic here at a local field. I took him out to eat. That's a full time job. And if that's the way you want to go, then yeah, there's money in there. Just save your money, because your body can't take it. You're always going to be able to. Those guys with names like that will always be able to do clinics, no matter how old they
Sure.
are.
Or
But that's a full.
coach.
Yeah, but those guys have full-time jobs. They're fully committed into paintball, and if that's what you want. But you also got to get to that level to be a Marcelo. And those guys, their training regimens, like Marcelo is his training regimen. When I was talking to him, he's like, oh, this trainer, that trainer, this health, my nutritionist. I'm like, what's going on here?
Drink spring water. Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually with Ryan and Marcelo. That clinic they had was the night that all the craziness went down, and I saw it in front of me. They were on the phone. It was like, I was like, am I in a soap opera? Like, what's going on here? That it was the day that Mouse left, that Spica
Oh,
left. It was that night. That night they had a clinic in Miami at, I forget the name of the field, Family Fun Center, and I took them out to Coconut Grove to eat dinner. And while we were eating dinner, all that stuff happened, and I was like there, like front seat, eating my popcorn, watching it all go down.
all right. Who do you think is the best ever of all time?
Who do I think is the best? That's easy. That's easy. Oliver.
Oliver. Yeah.
Now, that's who I think's the best. Who's my favorite player to watch playing paintball? Ryan Moorhead.
Ryan Moorhead.
That's my favorite player to watch playing paintball. Ryan and J.C. Whittington.
So why Moorhead? I mean, I know why, but tell us why.
Okay. So when I first got into the game, he was one of the first pros that like embraced me first of all. So obviously I'm gonna be biased, but just watching him play back then like made me fall in love with the game, like because he was just so fluid, going up
Yeah.
the Doritos, and just so like I don't want to like he was pretty. He was just pretty to watch play paintball. It was like
He's
an
still
art
doing
form.
it
Yeah, he's still doing it. He's still doing it. He's probably one of the nicest guys I've met in that game.
for sure.
And
It's
then
impressive.
Jason,
Like, very few people have the longevity that Ryan has. Like
100%. Yeah,
maybe
100%.
Greenspan, Alex Frazier, Yosh,
Yep.
um, Shane
I
Howe. There's
Yeah,
guys on
Shane's another great
Damage.
dude. Yeah, yeah. I actually took Ryan to Cuba. Him and his girlfriend at the time.
Oh,
They had
no
a great
kidding.
time. Yeah, they had a great time.
I've
I
never
took
been.
Oliver went with me for like 9 days. We had a great time over there. So yeah, and
I see you slanging cigars on your page.
yes, that's my main occupation, slanging cigars. Yeah,
Right on.
yeah,
Sticks, as you call
yeah. Sticks. Yeah, fortunate enough to have the goat as my client, which pretty much set me down. Michael Jordan.
them.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got.
the Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah. I got lucky. My friend's sister married him, so that's how I got hooked up with him. He married
There you go.
A Cuban girl here from Miami.
Smart.
Yeah.
Are you still doing anything with paintball?
Yeah. So we're doing 10-man again. So I got all the old guys back. We played World Cup. We finished second. The light ran out, but no excuse. We finished second, but we finished second with guys that hadn't played paintball in 10 years.
Who's on the
JC.
squad?
So Chino played, Adrian played, Ore played, Travis Madrid played. You probably don't know a lot of the guys. They're younger guys. JC Whittington played with us for World Cup. JC's always played with us whenever we do anything like that doesn't affect. Well, he doesn't play anymore, but when he was on Arsenal, whenever there was tournaments like PSP, he would always run with us. Um, so it's Travis, Ore, Frankie, a couple of Colombian kids that I play. So I play in the Colombian league on a team called Medellin Criminals, and like Blake Yarbrough just played with them the last event. And
Mm,
in their final event last year, I went me, Dan Patilla, who plays for the Killers, and Keith Brown, and we won that event. We beat the Gallego brothers who play for Russian Legion, and they hadn't
nice.
lost. They hadn't lost 1 point the whole event, not 1 point, and we beat them like 5-1. And so I have a couple of the guys from that team, some Colombian guys, and just a bunch of the old guys that have always hung around Rage, and then 4 of the old school Rage guys play on it. And then we played the Orlando. We only play events in Florida. Like, we were not going to get on a plane to play paintball anymore. And then
Mm,
this event, we lost to go to first and second against Poopy's team, Todd's team, in a
yeah.
one-on-one. The time ran out. We had the same amount of players alive, and we had to go to a one-on-one to go to the championship game, and we lost the one-on-one.
Who was in the one-on-ones?
On our side, it was Oda, and on their side, it was one of their younger players. I don't know who it was. It wasn't. It wasn't. So they had Dearman, who Dearman also played on Rage a couple times with us. Eric Gesser with us a
Dearman's
couple times.
old.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He's
It
not
wasn't
young anymore.
Eric. No, it wasn't Eric. But no. But when you're talking about that team, he's still one of the young guys on that team.
True, for
You
sure.
know, even Speedy. Speedy. Even Speedy. Speedy's
Yeah,
one of the young. Speedy's one of the younger guys on that team, and we don't even know his age. Um,
dude, I think he's older than Poop.
he
Like,
might. He definitely. He doesn't look older, but he might be older. He might be older. He might be older.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
another enigma. That's another enigma.
Dude, he's an anomaly for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I played with
He's
him
got.
at in Florida at Tiki's at the 10-man, and he was just running fast as ever.
Yeah,
Good old
man.
Speedy,
He's in
dependable.
shape. Yeah, he's in shape, man. That Brazilian blood doesn't age, I guess. I don't
Exactly,
understand.
dude.
Yeah, and he's doing his G1 paintball, which is it looks like it's going good for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Speedy also played on Rage. As a matter of fact, I forgot to mention him. We picked him up after he left Aftershock. Maybe the year after we did real well, and we won the Boston event, which
Hmm.
just so all the kids that watch, that all the Flex Boston parts, what the Flex Boston Flex parts are.
Yeah.
So we won Boston. So Sonny pretty much gave us all that. So at one point we had all those parts.
Hmm.
They gave Dynasty got a bunch of stuff. Stephen Lashbrook, I don't know if you remember Stephen, the photographer with the dreads.
Yep.
Yeah, Stephen got some stuff, and then we were always the redhead stepchild Rage. So Sonny gave us like 1 or 2 masks. And as soon as we won, I knew that those things were special. I ran to the JT booth and I go, "Hey, I'm grabbing all this shit." And what are they going to tell us? We just won the event. So,
Yeah.
and it was pretty
Nice.
surreal. After we won that event, like I was saying, K2, the company that makes skis and stuff, had just bought JT. So
Mm-hmm.
we went out to Carlsbad, I think is where it was. And that company also owned Rawlings baseballs and Rawlings gloves. So
Huh.
we went into their office, and Chuck Hench, who was the president of MPPL, got hired by them to be, the head of paintball, and gave us, a fat check, sponsored us. I mean, we just won and we did real well. And we went into the office to do the tour, and we see a poster of Rage right next to a poster of Alex Rodriguez, the baseball player. And right there, we thought we made it. We're like, "Oh, it's over. We made it. We made it." And
That's
it
awesome.
was pretty cool. That was the heydays of paintball. Imagine, I don't mind talking numbers. I'm an open book. That year, we probably got $100,000 in cash and maybe 175 to 200,000 in product,
Wow.
and that funded us. So I couldn't even imagine what Dynasty and Excessive got that year.
Yeah. True.
But that funded us for 3 or 4 years, and I'm sure I would be safe to say that the numbers I just told you is probably double what the best sponsored team gets now. I mean,
Yeah.
minimum.
Oh, for
So
sure.
a lot of stuff changed. That was the good old. That was before the financials. I had a paintball store as well, and we had like a lot. Like, we're in Miami, so we had a lot. Like back then, like before 2010, it was Big Venezuela was a huge um buyer of paintball. Of paintball products and stuff. Tony Perez, if you remember Tony, he was big in
Sure do.
down south. You know, Bobby eventually before he passed was doing stuff. But so it was like just there was a lot of money in paintball, man. And I bought the store, and it was really doing well until the financial crash and came in 2009 or 8 or 9 10. And honestly, paintball never. Not just paintball, a lot of things have never come back, you know. But paintball's gotten back, you know. It's gotten good again, you know. But just I miss those 7-man tournaments, you know.
Me
They
too.
weren't they weren't in the NFL stadiums, but they were in the parking lot. But like
Yeah.
those were an event, man. I don't want to. I love Tom Cole. I love the NXL, but I don't think anybody could throw an event like the WDP guys back then. Like it would just.
For sure.
It was fun, and I never, you know, was even able to go to any of the Malaga, Spain ones that I heard were amazing, and all those old events, you know. But Huntington Beach and the Tampa events and those events were great,
Amazing.
man.
They were great.
Amazing.
San Diego.
Yes. Oh, that was my favorite. San Diego was a Tijuana right there. It was awesome.
There you go. Man, I
Yeah.
saw you posted a little earlier some cool rage gear.
Yeah. 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 Yeah,
Yeah.
I posted that because I know that I had to come. I mean, I'm not old school like a lot of these guys you have, but I wanted to step my game up a little bit. So this I'm going to
So
show you right now is this gun I grabbed is one of Chino's old guns. It actually had been e-bladed, so I wanted to get rid of the e-blade. So I sent it to John Dresser, and he
a
had it
good
for about
person to send it to.
a year and a half, and he put it back to a single trigger. This is one of Chino's
Nice.
when they were a Bell Sales and Smart Parts
So how
team.
did you get it? Did you steal it from
No, so
him?
Chino gave pretty much sold, gave slash sold. You know, we pretty much just paid the inventory. Me and Adrian the store, and this was left in the store. You know, so
That's nice, dude.
and then here, this is before they even made paintball pants.
That's sick. Look at that.
Yeah, let me see. There you go. So these are dirt biking
Those are
pants that
awesome.
I guess Ray just threw their name on it and played in this.
Yeah. So a
Yeah.
lot of people don't know that before JT made paintball products, it was owned by John Gregory and it was called JT Racing and he made motocross stuff. Woo-hoo,
Yep.
those are fire. Those just
Yeah.
sing the 80s. Look at that 80s
Yeah.
style all over it.
Super tight. Like this doesn't fit my arm. You know, I don't know how Chino would get into this, but
Yeah. Old
you know,
Chino.
then
Old Chino fit in
yeah,
there.
yeah. Oh, Chino. Then I got here's a brand new, never worn, original the jersey that pretty much put Rage's jersey game on the map.
With with Scarface on it.
Yeah, you know we kind of did get the idea from Cap. I'm not gonna lie, the chain, but honestly, WDP designed this jersey, and they were just shooting stuff off. And when we saw the Cuban link, we're like, yeah, we want it, you know. But Cap is the originator of the gold chain. It's not
Look at
Rage.
those sponsored. You have NXE, so that was Pep's company, right?
Yeah, that was not Pep. Pep was the designer, but it was John Bosch and Ryan Bosch, and that's a
Okay.
cool story. So I met those guys in a Vegas event when I was playing for TC Factory, the paint company, but I was kind of running Rage. And I lost 150 pounds, but I was a very, very, very fat guy. And Ryan is a big guy too. And they called me over, him and his dad. Hey, you need a pack? And I go, it doesn't fit. And he goes, we're gonna make you one. And like 2 weeks later, I had a pack, first pack ever that fit me. Well, now packs fit me, and that was just the beginning of a beautiful friendship with us and them. I mean, that's the best pack ever made. Like I think JT's actually licensing their stuff because I see it says NXC now on their new packs.
Oh, does
But
it?
no, I
I've been
think
looking
yeah.
for
I
an
mean,
NXE pack.
yeah, I think the new JT pack somewhere on that says NXC. I don't know
Huh.
what it's for, but it says NXC on it. So yeah,
Interesting.
it was Thrust, which was a company owned by Alex Reed, who owned TC Paintballs, and then went over to Thrust. NXC. Then we have
And then Stiffy.
Angel,
Stiffy was like that
Stiffy.
carbon fiber barrel, right?
Yeah, the carbon fiber. They actually made real carbon fiber made in America because they're a NASA space tech company. They tried to get into the. They were there for a while. I mean, they don't make barrels anymore, but exactly. Stiffy, the carbon. Here we go. So this is the Stiffy Carbon Rage barrel, and this is a Rage A1.
Nice. Man, that thing's in good condition, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. I got a couple of things here. Here's
So,
a Mac Dev Rage gun. We were with Mac Dev for a while. It's a droid.
yep. Never shot one of those. Shoot good?
Yeah, they shoot. Yeah, they shoot good. They shoot good. And then here's my favorite gun. This one, Chris from Contract Killers did for me. Bob gave me this. This is a Ripper 2.
Dude,
Yeah,
Chris does
this thing,
amazing laser engraving.
amazing stuff. And then we got a couple of markers in the pipeline. So where we're going with Rage, I mean, I'm sure like, you know, our goggles, our JT goggles are the most valuable goggles, except for the Boston parts. Like, you know, they sell for like $300.
Yeah.
So the fans like our product, you know. So like we're actually doing a bunch of like collabs. Like JT just made some pants for us. They're in the process of making some packs for us, and we're gonna have a Rage mask, a Rage Flex, and then we have two markers coming out with two different companies. Um, with you
Ooh,
know
well,
with
what kind of markers?
so I've always had a great relationship with Bob Long, and then with Eric from Dynasty, Eric Crandall. You know, so we're doing a field one, and we're gonna
Nice.
do a. I've also had a great relationship with Chris. He was my salesman at Die. So I'm in
Williamson.
the work. Yeah, Chris Williamson was my salesman when I had the store at Die, and now he's the big dog over there.
Yep.
One, you know, both Chris and Eric are two of the best guys in paintball, and so I'm working on something with Chris, and with Eric, we did a prototype. You know, pretty much it was just a field one, and and then we send it to Chris at Contract Killers to do a dope laser engraving, and we should be coming out eventually. And we're gonna do 26 of them for my best friend that was passed away, Sean Taylor. He was a football player for the Redskins. So we're gonna do 26 of those, and then, you know, hopefully everything goes through good with Chris, and we come out with something. You know, hopefully we do something with Chris, which is in the works. So, you know, nothing's set in stone, but you know, me and Chris get along, and everything that we always get together and do comes out great. So we're
I
gonna do
think
that.
I saw a Miami Rage Force. I don't know if I was supposed to see it. Maybe Chris
Yeah,
sent it to
yeah.
me
We
or
no
saw it on
no
Instagram.
we made a force. We made one.
Okay.
So
All right. That
we're
was
just
sick.
waiting. Yeah, we're just waiting for Eric to get some guns in to go ahead and make the 25 of them now, I guess. And then
Right on.
yeah, we made some pants and they sold out right away. And then our jerseys, you know, always sell. People just still love the team, and you know, and the love we get when we go out to like the Orlando event and World Cup is amazing, you know. And it just the best thing about paintball is seeing all those guys that you see 5 or 6 times a year. I don't care about that. I
For
don't care
sure.
about the sport anymore. I'm going to Philadelphia. I'm not even playing. I'm going to hang out with JC because it's right next to where he lives.
I'll see you
So
there.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, let's see. JC. I think what's his name? What's his name? Wow, I'm drawing a blank. That just bought Revo.
Oh,
Tom
Tom.
Tom Tom Four is, I think, you know, he's trying to get JC to play. JC's a little bit old, but you
He
know,
still
he
got it
said
though.
he's J. I'm going to tell you a funny story about JC. So this was maybe 2015. We played D2 X ball. JC hadn't played in like 5 years maybe, and I put together like the best friends of mine that I had that weren't really on teams. And back then D2 X ball was real good. Like imagine we lost to Alex Spence at the end. We dominated the prelims. We had only played that event, World Cup, so it's by ranking. We played the best team. I think it was
Mm,
the Bears. I think it was the Bears that are in the NXL now, if I'm not mistaken, and we 5-0'd them. We didn't. We lost maybe 2 points throughout the prelims. One game, I mean, Travis Day was on the team. JC was on the team. None of these guys had played in a long time.
right.
The refs had no idea who JC was. JC had a 1-on-2 right out of paint, picked up 3 balls off the floor, and shot
Yes.
the two guys. And the ref looks at the other ref and goes, "Who is this tall guy playing paintball?" And I overheard him, and I look at him and I go, "If you kids only knew, you know." But like it's stuff like that.
Baller.
Like I'm going just to hang out with him, and you know, hang out with. I always get together with Eric Crandall from Field One and Dynasty. Go out to dinner with him and Vic, and you know, and I love seeing those guys. It's just there's nothing brings you together like paintball. Like, you know,
For
you just
sure.
staying 5 guys. Now we do it a little nicer. You know, we get the nice houses now, but back then we were at Days Inn Suites at World Cup, staying
Hell
fucking
yeah. Right across from
30.
Old Town.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
right across from Old Town, staying 30 of us in a room, and you know, having the time
Yep.
of our fucking lives. Excuse my
Greatest
language,
times, dude.
the time of our freaking lives, and it's just amazing. That listen, I've traveled the world. I've watched the Masters with Michael Jordan. I have a million friends of mine that Ed Reed in the Hall of Fame safety is one of my best friends. Sean Taylor passed away. So I've lived like a life out of paintball, like doing all that, like going to NFL games and doing all that stuff, and nothing compares to traveling and going to tournaments playing paintball.
Yeah.
I was just in Amsterdam by myself for 2 days, and I met one of the guys that owns the Killers, and I didn't even really know him. We met each other and stuff, and I just hung out with them. I hit them up on IG. Hey, I'm here. Let's get together. And that's like the thing about paintball. Like you can go anywhere. I can go anywhere in the world, and I'll find somebody from paintball, and you just click right away. No matter what,
Exactly.
no matter what. If you play paintball, like we play paintball, because when you talk to people that don't know what paintball is, they just think it's going in the woods, and then
Yeah.
doing that.
Or I
They
think
don't
you're a
understand.
nerd.
Yeah, they don't understand, and they go, "Oh, my friend's in the SEALs, he'll kill you." I go, "Oh, talk all that you want." They come out
Oh
and they
yeah.
get handled. It's not what you think. So the people that play the kind of paintball we play and that are in our paintball world, no matter where you are in the world, there's people that do that, and it just
Yeah.
even if you've never met them before, like we sponsored the team in Austria, Vienna United. We never met them. They just reached out to us. They seem like good guys, and we sponsored them for 2 years. It's like you just it's a family that no matter what, you could be anywhere in the world, and if somebody is in that paintball world, like in that tournament style paintball world, and you're in that world, you reach out to them on IG, and they'll meet up with you and have lunch and have dinner, and you guys will just rock out like you've known each other forever. It just brings people together, and there's nothing like it, nothing like it.
It's like instant camaraderie, right?
100%, 100%. It's just like I missed it. Like everybody, like I left paintball in 2014 or 15, right around there, for the second time, and now I'm back again. I came back and I played World Cup and I played the Orlando event. I'm going to this event. Also, like I said, I got the surgery, the gastric sleeve, so I've lost 150 pounds. So it's much funner now playing paintball. But
Yeah.
yeah, the camaraderie is like, I mean, some of the best stories in my life are my TJ stories on the San Diego events, stuff that, I can't talk about, but some of the best stuff I've
Well,
ever
you
done. And
could,
just,
Yeah,
uh, yeah,
maybe
but,
not.
it's better not to. But
What are
yeah,
you most thankful for that paintball's given you?
the people that I've met, the JCs, the Ryan Moorheads, the Eric Crandalls, I'm not going to
Yeah.
name the Rage guys because I met most of those guys I knew out of paintball, Jerry Devereaux, I met him in paintball. But meeting those guys and just like, the Chris Williamsons, the Owens from Angel, just great, just meeting great dudes, just meeting great people that are just genuine human beings. The guys from NXT, Ryan and Josh, just meeting those kind of people, like, and especially like Miami. Like I always say, Miami is not America. It's not the United States. It's its own world. So like we go out of Miami and you like we're meeting like a different. It's just it's great, man. You meet like all the Cali guys, it's awesome. Like like I told you, I've taken maybe 6 or 7 friends of mine from paintball over to Cuba, which all like Oliver said, not many people have traveled more than Oliver, and he said it was one of the best trips of his life. So it's definitely.
Awesome.
I don't know about now. It's pretty bad now, but back then it wasn't as bad. But
Yeah.
yeah, But
Timing is
yeah, just
important.
yeah. So yeah, just meeting. Just it's definitely nothing to do with the sport, with actual playing the paintball. It's the
For
minute
sure.
that match ends and until it begins is the best part of paintball for me. You
Hmm.
know, the minute the match ends until it begins again the next day is the best part of paintball. The
Well
playing,
said.
the playing is, my mindset when I play, and I play 10. Now I'm playing again. I'm not, I'm managing, but I'm also playing.
Hmm.
The playing part to me is the same as anything else I do that I like. I like shooting guns. Shooting guns is the same. The actual playing to me brings me the same joy as a lot of things. But the minute
Sure.
that the minute that match ends until it starts again, that joy I haven't found yet. It's unmatched.
I love it. I love it. Art. It's
Yeah,
well
yeah,
said.
yeah.
Well, dude, thank you so much for your time here
No,
this
thank you,
evening.
buddy. Thank you. I
It,
appreciate it, man. It
yeah,
was great.
my pleasure. Is there anything
Yeah.
that you want to part with for the paintball community?
No, man. I mean, thank you, everybody, all the Rage fans. I love that we haven't really played. Besides coming back to World Cup and playing 10 man, we haven't really played in a bunch of years, and you guys still support, and we have a bunch of fans, and I thank all you guys. And Thank you, Jerry Devereaux, for getting me into the sport. He was pretty much one of the main factors. Him, Chino, and Adrian, and Jason Ostro. Thank those guys, and thank you for having me. And let me invite you to dinner in Philly. Let's
Let's
get
do it,
together.
man.
Let's get together. I land Thursday morning. Let's get together one of the nights and go have some
I
dinner.
get there Wednesday night.
All right. I'm going to see if Chris makes it out. We'll go out with Chris and have some dinner, man.
All right. Cool.
All right.
See
Good
you,
seeing
bud.
you, man. Good talking to you. Thank you very much. Have a great one. Take care.
You too. All right.